When it comes to what's happening in Wayne County and the North Carolina area, look no further than Taylor House Publishing. If you have a story that needs to be told, please contact us via email at taylorhousepublishing@gmail.com.
All right, so the video you about to watch was made an hour before I went to this city council meeting, right, addressing the gun violence. Now, I'm not going to redo the video, but at the meeting, I got some information that relates to this video. And that information is that the young gentleman, which his name has been released, you'll see the police report in the video. The young gentleman who was the victim of a shooting at the Burger King restaurant, according to Chief West tonight at the meeting, he shot himself. He shot himself, evidently going into the store. And so when I made the video, I didn't know this information, but I did know some other information that happened. So you can tell in the video, as I say, that his story didn't make sense, kind of, with him just walking in the morning, going into work, and some random person just shooting him. I allude to that in the video, but I didn't want to make the video over just to, keep the information that I shared in the video relevant. But watch this video knowing in the back of your head that he shot himself. And everything I'm saying in this video kind of alludes to the fact, that, his story don't add up. But luckily, the young gentleman is all right. But according to the police, the young gentleman, and actually he was an employee, as you see in the caption, employee of Burger King, actually shot himself. So go ahead and enjoy this retroactive video. Once again, I made this video before I got the information from Police Chief West. But just listen, because there's also some other valuable information. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Enjoy. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Richard Taylor, and I'm back with a brief update on a shooting that happened over the weekend in Goldsboro, North Carolina. I was called to the scene probably about 10 o'clock. Someone alerted me to a high police presence in the Goldsboro parking lot of Goldsboro Burger King on Wayne Memorial. One of the main streets there. When I arrived, of course, I saw the scene. They didn't have a yellow tape up, so that was great. That means, there wasn't any loss of life. And as I was arriving, the individual was being transported, being let out of the back of the restaurant and being transported to the hospital, where, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't heard anything different. The young gentleman is doing well. Now, I've received some information from people who, have inside information, just let's say that. And, they kind of correspond with what the news said. They said at 9:49 a.m., officers were called to the Goldsboro Police Department, responded to a Burger King on Wayne Memorial, and in reference to an injured subject. Upon arrival, they located Tavion Jones, 21, of Pikeville, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound to the leg. Emergency personnel responded and transported the victim to UNC Wayne Health. The Goldsboro Police Department Investigative Service Bureau was contacted and responded to the scene. Now, the victim reports walking through the parking lot of Burger King and hearing a pop. He said he continued to walk and the business, and later discovered an injury to his leg. The injury is non-threatening. This is an active investigation, and no further information will be provided at the time. The Goldsboro Police Department asked that if anyone has any information regarding this incident, please contact uh, Goldsboro Police Department. And that article is by the Goldsboro Daily News. Credit to Mr. Andrew Stevens. Nevertheless, once again, we know about the rash of shootings that has happened, and something about the victim's testimony. It seems plausible, but once again, we operate by this street code. The victim said that he heard a pop, and I actually went down and got the official police report. As you can see, and I might put a little bit of this on the screen. One thing that I found out from this police report that was not spoken at the scene was this victim, 21-year-old Tavion Jones. He was actually an employee at the restaurant. As you see right here, it lists the victim and the employer's name as Burger King, 1807 Wayne Memorial Drive, and he is listed as a cook. And so, at the scene, of course, I asked a few questions. I pretty much, basically, just asked a couple of employees. I was like, well, wasn't nobody who worked here, was it? No, no. So, according to police reports, that is a lie. And I understand maybe why, they would not tell the truth. But I also don't understand. People, say, well, they may be asked to, keep quiet because of police investigation. Let's be real, man. Goldsboro Police Department ain't solving nothing. They, how many shootings have there been within the past 2 weeks and nobody's been arrested, I think, for any of the shootings? So, what are they investigating? And shout out to once again the girl, Natalia, who's always speaks about the unsolved crimes. And I think, I don't know if this figure is correct, but she mentioned something about 94 unsolved murders, and I don't know what time frame that that number would substantiate or would represent. But let's be evidently they need all the help they can get, so that's a whole nother subject, and I got some information on that as well later on. But this individual, Mr. Tavion Jones, I'm certainly glad that you lived and there's no serious injuries. And once again, I don't know, this is just maybe speculation, but of course we have this street code where you don't tell on even someone almost kill you, you don't never you don't tell on them. And I'm not saying that this the case, but this report says that the victim stated that he was shot by an unknown subject. And there's a few more, it's a 3-page report. The last page of the report is an incident report related vehicle list. And on this list is, if you go back and watch the video, is the vehicle that police were looking into during the video live that I did. And this vehicle is listed to an individual who has the same name as Mr. Jones, and also the same address as Mr. Jones. So evidently it seems that the car that the police was looking at, and you can go back and look at it, is the car the individual got out of when he was on his way to work. And if you look at the proximity of the car, because it's parked like soon as you turn in, he pulled in like to the first parking space. So he did have to walk across the parking lot to get to work. And so I can see how that description of this news article is true, with him walking across the parking lot to get into the front door, and evidently he was shot heading into the front door, and possibly, dropped some. If you watch the video, there's a bag in place or in the middle of the area. So there's a bag that stayed right there at the scene. Nobody touched it. So that is plausible that this is the reason or why that it happened. But once again, we have to beg the question: why does it happen? Why does a 21-year-old man get shot heading into work? So evidently he's a working man. He's a working class citizen. He's out here trying to make a honest living. Not saying what he may or may not do in his spare time, but it's once again disheartening. Fortunately, that has been the last injury related to shooting within the past 3 days, and hopefully it will remain that way. It will remain quiet. But I just wanted to visit that because at the time, I think yesterday when I got the police report, there had not been a name released. And if there wasn't this name released in the article, then of course I would have not released the name. But of course the name is on the police report and other information. You can go down public record, pay your little $2 and get a report. But there's something about this crime that's happening that, for some information that I was researching, totally unrelated, it's actually helping some of the people who want to make certain financial moves get those things done. And everything is really tying together. And I'm going to probably, address that later on in the video about the Goldsboro Housing Authority and their plans. That's very deep. It's very deep, man. So I want y'all to definitely tune into that one, because there's some information I'm going to share. It's probably, probably people already see it, but we're so distracted and we're not paying attention to the things. We think that they just having a meeting over here because of this, that, and the other. But no, there are, and we playing, we playing like this, like what my shirt say, this ain't a fairy tale, Boys in the Hood, the classic movie. But this ain't a fairy tale. This stuff is really happening. And man, I got to play that clip by Ferris.
It's called gentrification. It's what happens when the property value of a certain area is brought down. Huh? You listening?
Yeah.
To bring the property value down. They can buy the land at a lower price. Then they move all the people out, raise the property value, and sell it at a profit. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves.
Yeah.
Who is it that's dying out here on these streets every night? Y'all.
Yeah.
Young brothers like yourselves.
So that's a little knowledge right there. We are focused on some things. We are doing some things when people are coming in here and they are about to do some things that's gonna make things even worse if we don't wake up. So but yeah, I just wanted to touch bases on that story. Once again, I heard some conflicting stories. There was a little razzle dazzle, as the person told me. I don't know what they kind of meant. Maybe it was an altercation of some sorts. But according to this article and according to the victim, he's just walking across the parking lot and somebody shoots him. Things like that do happen, but from my experience, there's probably a little bit left out somewhere or the other, because once again, it's 9 a.m. Somebody's just going to randomly shoot somebody walking into a building at work. I mean, it may happen, but you know, it's definitely have to be some backstory. But I'm glad the young man is safe. Prayers out once again to his family, and you know, maybe the Goldsboro Police Department and its investigators will pursue these matters with the same enthusiasm as if it would have happened, you know, to one of their relatives. Let's just say that, or you know, one happened in, you know, one of the prominent neighborhoods, Walnut Creek or Lane Tree or something like that. Hopefully, they'll start pursuing these shootings as if, you know, they were just as important, or these lives were just as important as others. But 919-587-7782, I just had to give you a little bit of information on that, because there was no kind of scenario, in my opinion, that explained that shooting. But shout out to the young man. I'm glad that he's alive. And, you know, once again, man, just put down them guns, man. It's 2118. Man, listen, life is precious. And, you know, we all have a chance to live a prosperous life. So, y'all take care, peace, and love. Be blessings. I'm out. 919-587-7782. Peace.